I hope all the students are safe at the home due to this COVID-19 situation. Now let us start our topic by understanding a small situation. Let us consider Raju, a small boy of 7th class, was playing cricket during summer season. After playing cricket, he got so thirsty and now he went to the nearby local general store to buy a cool drink. But as he went there, there was no cool drink. So then he got very unhappy and then he ran to his home. And he said to his mother that I want to drink a cool drink. Now his mother said, simple, you go to the shop and bring some materials what I'll tell to you. He goes to the shop and brings some materials like lemon, water, some salt and sugar. His mother takes all those materials and combines all of them, and now she prepares a new thing called lemonade. Now students, you might have understood what is this lemonade. Lemonade is nothing but this is a mixture of all the components, that is nothing but she has mixed lemon juice and salt and water and sugar. Now this is nothing but was given to Raju. Raju felt very happy. This is very delicious. Now you can understand what Raju's mother has done. She has simply prepared a mixture. So in our daily life, we come across mixtures in our daily life situations. So today's our topic is nothing but regarding mixtures. But before going to the mixtures, let us understand what are elements. Now, elements. Elements are nothing but these are substances which cannot be broken into more simple substances. These are generally very pure substances. We can see in our daily life so many examples of the elements like copper, iron, gold, silver, oxygen, nitrogen. These are some of the examples of the elements. Now let us look at the slide of elements. You can see elements are pure substances that cannot be broken down into simpler substances. Example of those are copper, iron, gold, silver, etc. You can see both the diagrams of gold and aluminium. Now let us understand what are compounds. Compounds are nothing but these generally have a fixed composition, and now these are generally made up of two or more elements. These can be broken down into single elements, that is simple elements, by using either chemical method or electrochemical reactions. Now you can see so many compounds present around us. Examples are like water, sugar, alcohol, carbon dioxide, and so many other substances are very good examples of compounds. You can see in the slide the compounds like salt and water. Now let us understand the new concept of mixtures. We know what is matter. Matter is nothing but the substance. It is nothing but any substance which has some amount of mass and it occupies some space. So the matter around us, nothing but it can be classified in many ways, but we are classifying according to our need into two simple things. It can be classified as one, pure substances, next one as mixtures. Now we can see what are these pure substances. We have seen about example of pure substances, nothing but first one we have seen about what are elements, and next one what are compounds. Now let us understand what is mixtures. What is mixtures? Mixtures are nothing but simple combination of two or more components. When you combine two or more components, then the resulting thing, whatever you get, is nothing but a mixture. Now mixture, let us understand the mixture. Now you can see in the slide, a mixture is nothing but it is made up of two or more pure substances that are mixed together. Example, in the previous example you have seen, Raju's mother has prepared a lemonade. A lemonade is a good example of nothing but it's a mixture. You can see some other examples of the mixtures are like air. Air is nothing but it is a mixture of many different number of gases. Soft drinks. Soft drink is nothing but the cool drinks that you generally drink. The cool drinks contain what? It contains water, carbon dioxide, and some other small quantity of oxygen and nitrogen. Now even petroleum is nothing but combination of many other small amount of substances. So in our daily life we can see mixtures to a large extent. Now mixtures generally we can observe the components in a mixture can be separated. So we can say that in a mixture the components are combined, but they are combined generally only by physical methods. That is, they are combined physically and you can separate them very easily by applying different methods of separation. Now let us understand about different types of mixtures. The first type of mixture, the first type of the mixture that we are going to see is homogeneous mixture. What is homogeneous mixture? Homogeneous mixture says that it is nothing but homo implies here it is nothing but same. That is nothing but in a homogeneous mixture the composition of the substance will be always same. That also throughout the mixture. So let us understand about a homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture can be prepared very simply. For example, now I am explaining to you by a simple example. Let us take small quantity of water. Take small quantity of water, and now let me add. I have taken small quantity of water, and let me add small quantity of salt to it. You can observe when the salt is added. For example, now let us stir it. After stirring, you can see that the components of the mixture are nothing but mixed with each other. Now I can say this is nothing but a homogeneous mixture. So we can see homogeneous mixture is nothing but an example. So we have taken a simple example, nothing but salt when mixed with water. Initially the water is tasteless, but whenever we add some amount of salt to it, now you know that water becomes salty. Whatever the part of the salt you take, the water will be salty. So from this I can say that the composition is always same. That is, throughout the solution water is nothing but it is totally salty in nature. So this is a good example of homogeneous. Now in homogeneous solutions we understood mixtures, we understood composition is always same throughout the mixtures, and the components are so intimately mixed. They are so intimately mixed that we can't see the components individually. In the salt water you can see the components salt and water mixture. You can see salt particles are not visible. Salt particles are not visible. From that we can understand that the two components have combined in such a way that we can't separate them by our simple methods of filtration. Now here we can see homogeneous mixture examples can be many. Salt mixed with water, and you can see, so for example sugar mixed with water, and so many other examples of homogeneous solution can be taken. Example like you prepare sweets. Let us see one slide of homogeneous solutions. You can see homogeneous mixture. In the homogeneous mixture, the components of the mixture are uniformly distributed throughout it, and the components are so intimately mixed up that it is very difficult to separate them. Let us see only some examples of it. Small examples of like milkshake, orange juice. Not only these examples, we can take many other examples for understanding homogeneous mixture. Now let us go on to the next one, that is heterogeneous mixture. In the heterogeneous mixtures, now hetero says that it is nothing but different. In heterogeneous mixtures, you can observe that these components are nothing but they are different components, and the components present, both of them, do not mix with each other. For example, let us consider I have taken some amount of water and I have added small quantity of sand to it. By addition of small quantity of the sand, you can observe that the particles of the sand come and settle at the bottom, and how much you try to stir it, you observe that the sand particles are not going to mix with it. So this is a very good example of understanding heterogeneous mixture. So in a heterogeneous mixture, the components are not mixed thoroughly with it, and practically you can see both of the components with your naked eye. This was not possible in the case of homogeneous solution. That is, in the homogeneous mixture, you are not able to see the two components or three components or four components that were present. But here in heterogeneous mixture, the two components can be seen very clearly, and you can physically distinct them, both of them. This is one of the example. So you can see about heterogeneous mixture. So heterogeneous mixture that is made up of different substances are nothing but the same substance in different state, which are not uniformly distributed in it. So for example, you can see in the two examples, in fruit salad you can see every fruit and every item where you can separate each component from it. In next example, that is in oil and water, you can see oil and water are present at one place, but they are not mixed with each other. So here in heterogeneous mixture and homogeneous mixture, you have understood the difference in both of them. Now let us think about that mixture generally is possible only in 2 or 3 states. No, mixture can be possible in many states. That is, it can be formed by combination of a solid plus liquid, or it can be formed with a liquid with gas, or it can be formed with a gas plus solid. In this way, you can make different type of combinations of mixtures, and in these mixtures you can identify them as homogeneous or heterogeneous basing on mixing of components. Now let us go to the next one to understand. Now let us go to the next concept called solutions. What is a solution? Solutions is nothing but it is an homogeneous mixture of 2 or more components, in which generally we observe that it has two words that are generally used. One is called as solute and another one is called as solvent. What is solute and what is solvent? Solute is nothing but the substance which is present in small quantity. For example, in the previous example, let us see here once. Now I am taking small amount of water and let me add small quantity of sugar to it. When I add small quantity of the sugar, the amount of the sugar is very less and the amount of water is more. So the small quantity of the sugar that I have added can be called as solute. So solute is nothing but the substance which is present in less quantity. So in a solution, solute is nothing but which is present in very less quantity. Solvent is nothing but present in more quantity. So in the previous example of sugar, water, you can see that as the water was present in more quantity, now I can call water is nothing but as solvent, and solute is nothing but sugar. So these two combined, we call it as solution. So solution is nothing but it is combination of solute and solvent. Now, so in this case of salt solution or in the sugar solution, whichever is present in smaller quantity, that can be called as solute. Whichever is present in higher quantity can be called as solvent. Now solutions are also possible in many ways. You can get different type of solutions. The solutions possible are, you can take solid and a solid to prepare a solution. You can take solid and liquid to prepare a solution, or you can take a solid and a gas to prepare a solution. In this way, these three type of combinations, and you can try more three combinations also: liquid plus a solid, liquid plus liquid, liquid plus gas, gas plus solid, gas plus liquid, gas plus gas. In that way, we can get different type of solutions. Now let us understand a new concept of solubility. What is solubility? Solubility is nothing but it is the amount of the solute. It is the amount of solute that is dissolved in the solution. At a certain temperature. Solubility is nothing but amount of the solute that is dissolved in the solution at a certain temperature. Let us see about it. Now you can see what is solubility. Solubility is nothing but it is the amount of the solute that is present in a saturated solution at a certain temperature. To understand what is saturated solution, let us see what is saturated. For example, to understand the saturated solution, now for example, I have taken some amount of water. In the water, now you can see, sir, let us add some amount of salt to it and stir it. You can observe when I have added some amount of salt, even after stirring for some time, I can see by adding some more amount of the salt and by mixing it, even though when I was continuously stirring, you can observe there some amount of the salt is left out. Now I can say that this is nothing but a saturated solution. Saturated solution is nothing but when no more amount of solute can be added to the solution at one temperature. Let us see what is saturated solutions. So saturated solutions nothing but they contain maximum amount of the solute that can dissolve. Now you can observe that they generally tend to have an dissolved solute at the bottom of the container. Clearly you can see in the example also there is some amount of solute left out, and you can see that there is an equilibrium present with an undissolved solute. Now let us understand about unsaturated solutions. Unsaturated solutions are what are unsaturated solutions? In unsaturated solutions, every time there is a possibility to add some amount of solute. For example, let us see, we have seen in the previous example, that when I have taken, for example, 100 ml of water, and when I have added, for example, 10 grams of salt to it, by stirring I can observe that the salt was completely get dissolved in the solution, that is in the water. Now when I add more 10 grams of salt to it, then let us think even that was also soluble. So now inside it is 20 grams of salt present in 100 ml of water. Now add more 5 grams. Now when you are adding some amount of 5 grams to it, you can observe that some amount of the salt has left. When, for example, if 5 grams of the salt was left, now I can say that now the total, by adding 25 gram of the salt, now I can say that this has become a saturated solution. But less than that 25 grams of the substance, when we are adding, I can call it as nothing but it is an unsaturated solution. So in an unsaturated solution, every time there is a scope to add some amount of solute to it. Let us see what is unsaturated solution. Unsaturated solution contains less than maximum amount of the solute. Now you can see that there is no undissolved solute and you can dissolve more amount of solute. This is about unsaturated solutions. So we have seen in the solutions of saturated and unsaturated solutions. Now let us see about the concept of expressing the concentration. Concentration is nothing but, what is concentration? Concentration is nothing but the amount of the solute that also in grams, the amount of the solute that is present in 100 grams of solution. The amount of the solute that is present in 100 grams of the solution is called concentration. Concentration can be expressed in many ways. Let us see one by one. First method of expressing the concentration is nothing but mass percentage of solute. Mass percentage of the solute is nothing but mass of the solute by mass of solution into 100. In this way we can find out what is the mass percentage of the solute present in the solution. Let us see one more. Volume percentage. Volume percentage of solute. This is nothing but volume of solute by volume of solution into 100. These two are nothing but concentration methods to find out. That is, whenever you dissolve some amount of the solute in a solution, you can understand what is the percentage of the solute present, whether it is 20%, 30%, 40%, or whether it is 100%. To find out percentage of the solute present in it, this will be a good method to understand. Let us see the last one, and there are many methods of concentration, but we are discussing only about some of them. Let us see the last one, mass by volume percentage. Mass by volume percentage of solute, which is nothing but mass of solute by volume of solution into 100. Not only this, we can observe about some other methods of it also, like molarity, normality, formality, and mole fraction. These are also other methods of finding out concentration of a solution. So for finding out concentration of the solution, we employ different number of methods. So we can understand what is concentration. It is amount of the solute present in 100 grams of solution, mass percentage volume percentage and nothing but mass by volume percentage. Let us see this. Okay, now let us go to the next one, that is nothing but suspensions. What are suspensions? Suspensions are nothing but they are homogeneous mixtures. Suspensions are nothing but they are homogeneous mixtures of they are heterogeneous mixtures of solid and liquid. For example, let us see in this small example. Sir, I am taking small amount of water and I am adding small quantity of chalk piece powder to it. You can observe in the chalk piece powder the particles of it are suspended and they are going on moving through it. And you can observe majority quantity of the chalk piece powder is present down. I can call this as a suspension. Suspensions are nothing but they are heterogeneous, in which a solid is dissolved in the liquid and where both of them do not mix with each other, same like example of soil and water. Now let us see what is colloid. Colloids are also nothing but these are heterogeneous solutions, heterogeneous mixtures in which contains of particles which are present, and these generally contains of two important phases in it. One, it is nothing but called as dispersed phase and another one is called dispersion medium. Dispersed phase contains of particles which are ranging from 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer. Dispersion medium is nothing but the medium in which the particles are generally present. Now let us see the next one, types of colloids. In the types of colloids you can see depending on the different dispersing mediums and depending on the different dispersed substances you can observe different type of colloids: aerosol, foam, emulsions, solid foams, solid emulsions and solid salt. Let us come to the next one, that is nothing but Tyndall effect. What is Tyndall effect? You can see in the Tyndall effect, generally Tyndall effect can be used to distinguish the difference between a true solution and suspension and colloid. Now in the given slide you can understand when visible light is passing through a true solution, you can observe that there is no scattering of light. Why there is no scattering of light? Because in scattering of light, the scattering of light is possible only when particles of the solute are bigger. In true solutions you can't find anything, but you can see in the colloidal solutions the particles are so big that you can understand that basing on the size of it the scattering is possible. And Tyndall effect can be observed in our daily life when we go to a morning walk from the bushes of the tree or from the tall trees where you can observe some sunlight coming and falling. In the path of the sunlight you can see small particles where Tyndall effect can be observed. Now let us see what we have learnt in all these things. We have understood what is mixture. Mixture is nothing but it is a homogeneous mixture is nothing but it is a combination of two or more components. Homogeneous mixture is nothing but it is a mixture in which the composition of the substance remains uniform throughout. Now where we can see Tyndall effect in our daily life? You can see Tyndall effect in your daily life generally when you go to a morning walk through the trees, and then you can see even when you go to a movie where projector goes on playing. Thank you.